If you wanted to talk about weeks that were completely unexpected when it came to predictions, try last week. Who would have saw the Jets winning or the Dolphins winning or just any of those teams? I didn't see the Texans beating San Francisco. That was surprising to me. And seeing all of these matchups, there's a reason why my record is not far higher. It's because I'm seeing so many unpredictable moments throughout the season. Unfortunately, I feel like that's going to keep continuing as a lot has also happened last week. There have been some big moves that I made. I have decided to try to make a change to my team. It didn't work out so hot early on. Hopefully for the future, it's going to work out just fine. This is going to be a big week. Let's take a look at all the games for Sunday and Monday and also fantasy football stuff. Let's get started. By the way, I think you noticed that I shifted my setup a little bit. Put the table used to be over there. I put it right over here. Took the stuff over there and pulled it behind me. Obviously, I had to make some adjustments. I have the TV right there, which is mounted there for the cameras right there. And I had to put the microphone right there because of the desk is kind of weird. Light there. And the light all the way over here. And to make those changes, I like how it looks. And it should be the setup going forward. And I should be also getting my setup a little bit more. Dual PCs right here, an actual computer system, and instead of just working on a singular laptop. That should be really good. And another thing, happy Halloween. I know this is coming on Halloween day, so I hope you guys are excited about that. You know, go trick-or-treating, be safe while you're doing it. And I'm just very excited for the holiday season as well. You got Thanksgiving down the line. Obviously, I can't wait for those Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday game as well. That should be very fun. And it's another thing as well as we're also taking a look over, Christmas and those matchups as well. So it should be very fun. Now, let's get into the actual episode starting with fantasy football. Last week, I won 149 to 133 off the backbone of the Chargers defense with 48, Drake May with 42, and then some pretty good performances with Josh Jacobs at 10, Javonte Williams at 16, Chase McLaughlin at 17. It was a good win. Could have been better. A win's a win. 4-4. I'm at the number 4 spot in my league out of 10, so we're in playoff position currently, which is great. Right now, I'm looking at a week that's going to be very challenging. However, I think I have a nice lineup ready to roll, and I also had to make a lot of changes. So before I tell you about that lineup, let's take a look at what I did during the free agency. I told you in my opening short for this week, which by the way got over 1,000 views, so thank you very much, that there was a big trade. And I said that the trade is going to scratch some heads a little bit because in the way it scratches my own head. I got very tired of Saquon Barkley, and unfortunately I traded him prior to the game against New York, which he absolutely blew up in. I got really tired of him. I got tired of the inconsistency and the below subpar play, and everybody else was playing consistently, playing very good. I was ready to get rid of Saquon Barkley. Now, of course, when I made the trade, he goes and has a good game. That generally happens with me, so I just have to come to expect that stuff. Hopefully, whoever I traded for did a very good job, which that trade, I gave away Saquon Barkley, and I picked up Drake London, who did not play last week, but I'm very excited about as he's going to get the bulk of more receptions as Michael Penix Jr. should be coming back soon, and that would be very exciting. Hopefully, they start balancing that offense so it's not simply just Bijan Robinson. They actually have a really good passing game, and they should use it, and when they do, Drake London is very successful. So hopefully he can do that. And because of the rules of the lineups, so in my league, you have to have 4 running backs and 5 wide receivers as tight ends. If you have the opposite, or you have an invalid lineup where you have like 1 quarterback instead of 2, or 1 defense or 1 kicker instead of 2, those are invalid lineups. You have to have the correct amount, 2, 4, 5, 2, 2. Therefore, I had to make a move to balance out the running backs and wide receivers in my league. Therefore, I dropped Brian Thomas Jr., and because I dropped him, I picked up Trey Benson. Now, Benson, the running back for Arizona, has been on IR for a little bit, but when he's ready to come back, which should be after the Dallas Cowboys game, he's projected 11 to 10 points, which is big, which they actually give him a lot of carries because what do they have to lose? Their season is basically over. Hopefully he can get going and have a really good year and stay healthy. And then one more move I made, I got rid of Quentin Johnston. It was clear that they were not going to use him as much as they did early on in the year. That was miscalculated and it did not work out for me. And in return, I got Trey McBride, the tight end for Arizona. It was between him and Tucker Kraft, and while Tucker Kraft's having a better year and is probably still going to continue to do so, Trey McBride is playing Dallas. seems simple. And if he plays good against Dallas, hey, I might keep him around. And another thing, while this has not been confirmed, there's a chance that I might drop McMillan and get Stephon Diggs in return. If that's how it works out, I'd be excited for that because Drake May has been having a really good year and Stephon Diggs' production has actually been a lot better. And hopefully it can continue that way. With all those moves out of the way, we can finally get into the starting lineup. We're keeping Drake May on the starting lineup. Even though Jordan Love had a better game last week, Drake May has been slowly rising into MVP levels and it's been working out very, very well. And so he's going to stay in the starting lineup against Atlanta. And then my two running backs are Josh Jacobs and Javonte Williams, as Judkins is on bye and also hurt. And Saquon is gone. The other running back is also hurt. So we're going to be rolling with those two. And the wide receivers, assuming he's healthy and ready to go, we'll put in Drake London immediately, along with Malik Washington, who's been very good in the kick returning game, and he has been very good throughout the year so far. Despite low projections, he's been doing very hot. I also am putting in Trey McBride against Dallas, so that should help in case there's a close game going into Monday. I'll have some two good pieces ready to go. I also am putting in Cameron Dicker for the kicker position and the Chargers defense, which is playing against Tennessee. That should work out for me as well. That lineup is up against Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Rico Dowdle, Tyler Warren, Cardi, the kicker for the Los Angeles Rams, and the Houston Texans defense, which by the way is playing Denver. I don't know how smart that is. I am projected to win, and I'm very confident that I can win this matchup, and a win here would help big time, because I am playing the #1 person right now in the league. We'll see how that goes. That fantasy football is out of the way. Let's move on to the actual Week 9 projections and games and all those beautiful things. Let's start with the power rankings, and by the way, there is not much movement. As a matter of fact, all the 5 teams you saw last week will be on this list as well, just kind of switched up a little bit, but there are some teams that are worth honorable mentions. Green Bay obviously should be up there, the New England Patriots should be up there, Buffalo, Kansas City's another team because they're starting to really click and it's looking very dangerous for them. The Rams should obviously be up there, and some other teams as well. With that said, I believe that I still have a very nice Power 5 record prediction. I still believe I have a really nice top 5. So let's get into it. Number 1, let's give the Colts their credit. They are simply just unstoppable. One loss to the Rams, and that was by a couple of points. Overall, they've been dominant all year long, and it's hard to question how good that team has been, especially with Jonathan Taylor having another big career season. And Daniel Jones looking very good. Detroit drops to number 2, but that doesn't really mean much. Obviously, they were on bye, and Indianapolis just continues to roll. So they're at number 2. Tampa Bay's at number 3, a big win over New Orleans, but that doesn't really say much, obviously. And then I'm not going to put them over to Detroit, who absolutely blew them out. So that's going to stay like that. I did flip Denver and Seattle. Now, Denver's at 4, Seattle's at 5. Seattle on bye. Denver, a big win over a Dallas Cowboys offense that's been very powerful throughout the year. Forced Dak to throw 2 interceptions. They deserve all that credit. And that is the top 5. Let's get into the predictions. Last week, I went 7-6, which was actually very lucky for me, knowing that there was a lot of crazy games that happened. And overall, my record is 68-53. First off, the 7 games I got right. I got the Chargers, the Patriots, the Bills, the Buccaneers. I got the Broncos correct. I got the Colts and the Chiefs correct as well. As for the games I got wrong, I mean, who would have ever thought Miami, with how dysfunctional they've been, and New York with how bad they've been, that they would have gotten wins that day? That kind of blows my mind. The Giants, I thought they could do it again against the Eagles, and then the Scatterbo injury happened and that team got very deflated. Hope Scatterbo's going to be all right. The other games that I got wrong, I got the Bears wrong. Somehow the Ravens with a backup quarterback did really well against the Bears team, who's just clearly inconsistent. And then you have San Francisco. That one didn't work out so well. And then I said Pittsburgh, but Green Bay, they basically dominated. Therefore, with that in mind, we need to have a better week. So let's get into it. The first game we're looking over is between the 4-3 Chicago Bears and the 3-5 Cincinnati Bengals, who both suffered very embarrassing losses in 2 different kinds of respects. One was to a backup quarterback, the other was to the Jets. The best way to look at it is looking at the teams kind of on a paper standpoint. Obviously, if you want to talk wide receiver game, the Bengals have it. And Joe Flacco is not a bad quarterback. But that defense for the Bengals is just so depressing. They don't know how to stop anything. And that has always been their Achilles heel under Joe Burrow and just this kind of era of Bengals football. As for the Bears, while they're inconsistent, one thing that does kind of stand out throughout most of the games is that both the offense and the defense do kind of gel a little bit better than they generally do. And it's definitely defensively, I would take the Bears over the Bengals. Right now, that right there is what I'm kind of judging it upon. Because of that, I am going to take the Bears to win 30-24. I just don't trust the Bengals defense. They need to show that they can play a full game against a pretty good offense. And right now, I don't see that happening. That's just, that hurts. But yeah, we're going with Chicago. We got a divisional rivalry matchup between the 3-4 Minnesota Vikings and the 5-2 Detroit Lions. The Lions just came off their break. The Vikings got done getting absolutely smoked by the Chargers on Thursday night. These are two different teams. Minnesota is still looking for its identity. It has a lot of pieces, but right now that quarterback position has been up in limbo, and that's the one place that has kind of concerned me. The run game has also kind of been a little bit of a scary indicator. On the opposite end, you have a Lions team where the run game is definitely not an issue. The quarterback's definitely not an issue. The receiving game is definitely not an issue. Play calling, definitely not an issue. The defense can somewhat be an issue, but not too much. Right now, it's just clearly obvious. I'm going to be picking the Detroit Lions to win this matchup 38-21 because it's in Detroit. I'm looking at a much more complete Lions team. I have them as the second best team in football. The Vikings, I have them on the lower half, and that is just a clear-cut difference. I feel way more comfortable taking the Lions. Next up, we have the 4-4 Carolina Panthers and the 5-1 Green Bay Packers. Right now, Green Bay finally got that signature win that they've been looking for. You could say Detroit, that was pretty signature. I think against Pittsburgh, against Aaron Rodgers in primetime in Pittsburgh, that was huge. Jordan Love played a very, very good game. Tucker Kraft had himself an amazing matchup. And on the opposite end, you have the Panthers team that got done getting absolutely smoked against Buffalo 40-9. A terrible outing it was for them. The quarterback situation turned some heads. Running back situation, it should be Rico Dowdle going forward. You want to take a look at everything else. For example, wide receiver game, I like McMillan, but he's not getting the production because he's on the Panthers. His quarterback game has been pretty bad. And defensively, obviously I'm going to take Green Bay as the advantage, though Green Bay's defense has been very underwhelming this year. It's in Lambeau. I'm going to be taking the Packers to win 31-23. I think it'll be a little bit closer. I do think the Packers have a tendency to play close to teams they should be absolutely blowing out, but I'll still take the Packers to win this matchup overall. Next up, we have the 5-3 LA Chargers versus the 1-7 Tennessee Titans. Let me go ahead and just get it out of the way. I believe that the Chargers are going to win this matchup 27-3. This is the only team I do it to is the Titans, where I don't really want to spend a lot of time on them because they're a team that is a project that is not looking so hot versus a Chargers team that just got done having the game of its life and Justin Herbert playing absolutely spectacular. This is so easy for me. Give me the Chargers to win against Tennessee. I don't know what else to say about the Titans. Next up, we have the 3-4 Atlanta Falcons versus the 6-2 New England Patriots. Atlanta is so inconsistent, and I don't know if Penix is playing. I hope Drake London plays. That would be very nice. Right now, that team, it just feels so weird. Even with Kirk Cousins, they should still be playing very well. I don't know what's going on with them. They look very weird. They should be playing so much better than what they're doing right now. As for the Patriots, what a year so far. Start off 1-2. They won their last 5. They have been playing spectacular. Drake May looks like an MVP candidate. It's in New England. Atlanta's inconsistency and New England's great consistency right now. I'm going to take the Patriots to win this matchup 34-21. It just does not feel like Atlanta has the pieces to beat a New England team at Foxborough with how good Drake May has been playing. I will easily take the Patriots, and well, this team is getting close to looking like they could be a Super Bowl contender. I don't want to say it, but they look like it right now. Next up, we have the 5-3 San Francisco 49ers versus the 2-6 New York Giants. I lost all faith that New York can put on a really good season after the Scott and Bow injury. I think that was a big killer to what they were able to do. As far as the 49ers, yeah, it was a bad loss to Houston, but you should, in theory, be getting back Brock Purdy, or you're probably going to go with Mac Jones again, but you're also getting a lot of your pieces back. Ricky Pearsall should be coming back soon. And then Christian McCaffrey has been having a good year. George Kittle is back. Really? All these big names are back. Offensively, you should be doing very well. Defensively, you should be doing a lot better. I will take the 49ers to win this matchup 24-14. New York, you had something. You're just going to have to wait for next season to really get that spark back. This is a really big matchup. We got the 7-1 Indianapolis Colts versus the 4-3 Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. What a matchup that one is. Is there anything bad you can say about the Colts right now? Daniel Jones has been having a great year. Jonathan Taylor has been having a spectacular season. Tyler Warren has been looking like one of the better rookie players coming out of this draft. The defense is doing very, very well. As far as Pittsburgh, I mean, you lost your last two. That hurts, but Aaron Rodgers is still a strong quarterback. You still have a lot of weapons to work with, and the defense should still be fine. However, you are facing against a running game that has been absolutely hurting every single team that they have faced. I'm going to take the Colts in this matchup 27-19, a lot closer. An offense that is really hard to stop. I don't think Pittsburgh has the pieces to really keep up with Indianapolis right now, so I'll take the Colts to move on to 8-1. Next up, you have the 6-2 Denver Broncos versus the 3-4 Houston Texans. It's been up and down all year for Houston, but for Denver, I mean, you had a 1-2 start, you won your last 5, you've been looking incredible doing it. I trust the Denver Broncos defense a lot more, especially around that secondary game. I love what I see with Denver, especially also up front. Houston defense is pretty good. But that offense for Houston, man, it's been very up and down and consistent. They had a good game last week against San Francisco, but this is not San Francisco. This is Denver. I believe that Denver is going to win big. We're talking 40-14. I believe that the Broncos are going to stomp all over Houston. They have all the pieces to do it, and they've been showing that they can move forward with the AFC West. And they got to keep going because Kansas City's starting to heat up. There's probably a level of urgency for Denver to win that division right now. Next up, we have the 4-3 Jacksonville Jaguars versus the 2-5 Las Vegas Raiders. And right now, I'm looking at a Jaguars team that started off super hot. A big win against Kansas City has been slowly getting cooled down as it goes. And it looks like the Jaguars are just in this little bad spiral that's just going to keep going out of control. And I don't know what it is going to take for them to get out of it. Yeah, you're playing the Raiders. The Raiders have looked awful all year long. Geno Smith has been a terrible quarterback. He hasn't been playing very hot. You're catching the Raiders at a very weird point. If you're Jacksonville, yeah, you had the bye, but you look very weird. I'm going to take an upset. I'm going to go with the Raiders to win 20-17. I think the Jaguars have just lost so much flame, and on paper, they should beat the Raiders in this matchup. It has not always worked in that favor for Jacksonville, so I got to go with the Raiders on this. It doesn't mean I'm confident in it. I'm not confident in Jacksonville right now. Next up, you have the 1-7 New Orleans Saints versus the 5-2 Los Angeles Rams. The thing about this matchup is the Saints look like they're about to be doing a lot of shopping for the trade and free agency markets and all that stuff. The trade deadline looks like they're going to be getting rid of a few weapons. That's been talked about, you know, with Adam Schefter. But there's nothing that really needs to happen for the Rams. The Rams theoretically are getting back Puka Nacua, and once that happens, I mean, that offense, God help you. How do you survive an offense like that? I have no idea. I don't think the Saints have what it takes. I'm going to take the Rams to win 27-7. You just cannot rely on a New Orleans team to take down an LA team with an offense like that. Matthew Stafford has also been in MVP talks as well. And then the matchup we look forward to seeing almost every single year, it's Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. It's the Chiefs and the Bills. 5-3 for Kansas City, 5-2 for Buffalo, both coming off of big, ginormous victories. And the thing about this matchup is Kansas City has been catching fire, but that Buffalo Bills win, man, that does a lot to tell you what kind of team that the Buffalo Bills are. Now, looking at this matchup, you're in Buffalo. The weather's finally actually starting to do something. The Bills Mafia is a tough place to play. So let's get that out of the way. And when it comes to the regular season, Josh Allen has been a lot more successful than Patrick Mahomes there. Postseason, it's a completely different story, obviously. But when it comes to the regular season, it's been Josh Allen's game, and it's been that way for a while. Looking at this matchup, I really love what I see from Kansas City. I'm going to go with Buffalo to win 30-27, a thriller. It's the regular season. I just can't get over that. I can't get over Josh Allen doing very well against a Kansas City team he should be doing worse against. He tends to really rise up in that occasion, and I believe that Mahomes is going to make some mistakes. I mean, he threw 2 interceptions the last game against Washington. What happens? I have no idea, but I'll take Buffalo to win. And then we have Sunday Night Football between the 5-2 and fiery hot Seattle Seahawks versus the 3-4 Washington Commanders. The thing about this matchup you have to understand is that with the injuries to Jaden Daniels, yeah, he could be coming back soon, who knows. He's been playing very mid all year long. Sam Darnold on the other hand, Jackson Smith-Jigba on the other hand. Electrifying years for Seattle. Right now, Washington's defense is not that great, and you're facing against a high-powered, high-caliber offense in Seattle at a moment when they're still trying to fight with the Rams and the 49ers for that NFC West spot, and Washington's falling right behind. This is not a good time to face Seattle. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win 48-17. I just don't have faith in that Washington team, and I think Seattle's offense is ready to pop off a little bit, if you know what I mean. And then Monday Night Football in Dallas between the 2-5 Arizona Cardinals and the 3-4-1 Dallas Cowboys. Arizona, very meh team all the way. Started off really hot. I've been losing 5 straight. Dallas, defensively, one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. Offensively, one of the best offenses I've ever seen. And they tend to come together to do both in games like this. But the big loss to Denver last week, they really have to win to keep up with that playoff race. Because right now, if they lose, I think that's over for them. This is a must-win for Dallas, and I believe that they are going to get the victory, 42-27. It will be a shootout because I don't trust that defense to do anything right. Offensively, this should be time to eat. If you're CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Javonte Williams, it is time to start firing on all cylinders. Here's a nice matchup to do it. Go ahead, Dallas, do it. And that'll do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you like the new setup. Hope you have a great Halloween. I am very happy with what's been going on this channel. We have jumped over 200,000 views, 171 subscribers currently. This has been a really good year for me, and I'm thankful for everything that you guys have been able to do, all the interactions I have in the shorts, and just everything that's going on. It's awesome. So thank you guys so much for all of that. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. And go follow me on all my social medias all around. You've been seeing them in the videos, obviously. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.